Yeah, if you have any question, just start.
So Ben will be running you down the aisles, giving the mic to you, so we're loud enough. And we will also be taking questions and answers afterwards. So let's welcome Stephan.
Thank you a lot. I introduce myself. My English is maybe not the best, so hopefully I will manage it. I'm 46 years old. I live in south of Germany, Stuttgart. I'm married, have 4 children, and yes, my business is to play. I'm playing my whole life, and yes, I show you some photos and some movies of my work, and every time you feel free to ask me some stuff. This is the end of the demonstration. In the beginning, I show works, maybe introduction of 5 to 8 minutes from earlier works. And at the end, with the drones, I do photography and movies with it. So I will start with this. I started in '93 to take polaromas. It's called with Polaroid. I did panoramas, and this was okay. Everybody can hear me? Is it okay like this? Yep. Okay, I start. And the thing was to get a different view to the things. They are in front of you on the ground, and maybe in the back of you. So you started with panoramic, and I did this with Polaroids and put them to a scanner. And after this with Photoshop 3.0, I stitched them together. So I did another work in Manhattan, New York. And this was a fashion work, a free work. And you see all the Polaroids we did, and after we put them together. So you get very special views. You see somebody in the back on the ground, and you see to shoot a photo from below up. So at this time, the people ask me often how you make this and what kind of huge format cameras you use for this, but it was very simple. Also, these pictures, I think it was 93 or 94. The people, they don't know how this works with many people in one picture. It doesn't exist at this time. Then 2 years later, I started with my called multi-pictures, and I did pictures from one point of view, and made up to 150 photos and print them all. And after printing, I put them on the scanner and put them together. And I did some campaigns for cigarette companies and other companies. And an image campaign for Berlin. So, yeah. Then, I think it was about 2002, I started new things with video projection, and this is a real shot. So in the back was the screen with a video projection, and I put a girl in front, and we had some films, and she was moving in real time, and we just taking pictures of this, but it looks like she's in the movie. So yeah. This is a motor camera I built in 2003, and I put a camera on a tripod, and there's a motor, and it's going in the same speed, very slowly, 360 degrees, sometimes for hours. And after 6 seconds, I have a new picture, and I put them together, and you get a video panoramic view, but every 6 seconds it, how to say, repeat the same picture. And it's funny because the girl, she come in and builds something at the beach, and after 6 seconds it comes to the next picture and doing the same stuff. Yeah. And I show a lot of works in clubs in Stuttgart, where I worked also as a video jockey from 2001. And this is a new work. I started to make 360-degree panoramas with 7 cameras. And I have some commercial clients in Switzerland, and for them I made a fair. I show you a small movie so you get a small impression of this. So you see, the screen is in the outside. I go a little bit back. And in the middle, there's the small tower. And the company get the clients up for business meetings in the small tower. And they come from all over the world. And I made some Swiss panoramic views so they get the impression to be in the Swiss Alps. And I was also filming in the production of the company. So you are in the middle of the production. I also did this for Mercedes and Skoda, for other companies. Yeah. And the projectors were standing on the roof. And the most difficult was to stitch all the pictures together seamless with the birds flying through. So it wasn't so easy. And then in 2004, I started with a series about architecture in Cairo. And I tried to make double exposures of, you will see, of the buildings there, and the old buildings and the new buildings. And the same work I did 1 year later in Shanghai, 2005. And that was the time before the expo where they destroy all the old parts of the city and build the new ones. So it was very exciting to be there, to take pictures. But these are every time 2 totally different pictures I put together. So. Goldfish. This is the last one of this series. And in 2005, I started to shoot with helicopters. I did a film for a small company, and I had some extended time in the helicopter, and I started shooting with a photo, and find out that the pictures straight down for me are the most interesting. So the first pictures, wait, 1 second. It's a short movie about the work from the helicopter and my studio in Stuttgart and the people I'm working with. So this is my place in Stuttgart. This is a gallerist from Barcelona. I will explain something later about this kind of works. I rebuilt Guantanamo in South Africa, and I speak later to this. You will see. When the volcano broke out on Iceland 4 years ago, the airports in Europe was closed, and for me it was the possibility to take pictures straight down over airports. Normally it's not allowed to fly there, so. A friend. Okay, this is one of the first pictures I did. It's agriculture, a wet field. And another one, close to Stuttgart, there's the University Hohenheim, and they make a lot of experiments with plants and growings, so they have nice structures everywhere. So I was taking pictures of this. If any question, feel free. Ski lift in the Swiss mountains. In junkyard in Spain. And to show you the beginning of this, I was thinking about in my childhood, I don't know if you know this, it's Ali Mitkuc, is somebody who made pictures with hundreds of people in. And when I was a small boy, it was really interesting to see that there are many different things happen at the same time in one picture. And it was really funny because I had all these books, and years later, maybe 8 or 9 years from now, before, I found that I made nearly the same pictures out of the helicopter. And I show you now a small movie. It's 6 minutes about the photographic work, and after this we can, maybe you have any questions. No. This was the beginning, 2011, and we built everything by our own. It was a little bit complicated, and I have to learn to control this. I didn't do this in my childhood, so it's not so easy to do it with 40 years. But it's funny, these are 2 years ago, and this was the first step. I show you later the newer movies. Let me see. Okay, this is the end. So you saw that I did some pictures. They look like paintings. And sometimes I have exhibitions where I show pictures. They all look like paintings. But if you go closer, you see, like here, there's 10 minutes later, they bring the cattle into the field and to the ground to feed them. And it's real. So often the question is, how real is something? How real is reality? And I now don't know if you know District 9 movie, a very special film. And I did some shots in Kalisha in South Africa, where the movie is playing. And I started to put three-dimensional objects into, small ones. But the people, they don't know in the first moment. So you see the miniature is something, it's not real, but everybody knows from the movie. So for some people, they bought this picture and spent a lot of money for it, and they say, oh, it's only a nice structure. They didn't realize that there's something going in. And the next one asked me, hey, you made this on the film set, or how does it work? So I'm playing sometimes with realities. And it's the same. I was in Dubai, 2007, 2008, when everything, all the money of the world is going to Dubai. Everybody who was rich or is rich has to spend money anywhere where it's safe. And a lot of, I spoke with somebody, I had an exhibition 2008 in Dubai, and he told me that really the Russian came with suitcases really of cash money and put it there to buy something. And this is the ski dome in Dubai, and it was really funny because it was outside, I only know degree, 39 degrees Celsius. It's very hot, 11 in the night, and you can go skiing. And it looks like this with the Swiss Alps. Maybe the video camera, not so much, but yeah. And this was really funny too. And it's really crazy. And in the beginning, you think it's a great idea to make a palm, to put houses on it. But you see, I've been on one of these trees, and everything is looking the same. And if you're standing on the beach at one house, you see 300 feet opposite the other houses, and they all look the same, and there's nobody. It's only the money, the people bought it, and it's empty. And the water begins to stink because it can't flow. So there's often ideas and a lot of money, but I don't see any reason why, for what. And I did a lot of, this is the beginning of the world they built. And those are the modern slaves. And yeah, really hard work there. And I was thinking, why to build in the desert buildings with a half-mile high instead of being flat, and for what? And I was also fascinated of these big construction sites where one construction site, 10,000 workers, and with the organization, with the logistic, how to manage everything. This is one picture of the roof you saw before. On the left is now it's called Burj Al Khalifa. It's a half height. Yeah. It was really crazy. And I didn't understand for whom these buildings are. And when I drove through the desert, there was big signs like this. It's about 900 feet, and they planned to build resorts in the middle of the desert. And one resort was called Europe, and this is the way of thinking how Europe looks like. And they have 6 or 8 different resorts with Africa, America, and everything. But after the crash, this gone. It doesn't exist, so it was just an idea. Okay. And I was in Tunisia when I was 17 years old at, I know, Matmata, I think it's called, where Star Wars was the first episode. It's called episode 4, the first film they did. And it's funny because it was outside 45 degrees, and they didn't have any air conditioning, and they built the buildings, the houses, into the ground, and it was very fresh, and this was, for me, was totally cool to stay there, and you have your space. I like very much housings with an atrium in the middle, with some trees in the middle, so the house is round, you have a place in the middle. And I think maybe it's much easier to think in this way than to think about how to get concrete and 800 meters high, and yeah. And the pictures before, this one, is in Tunisia, the south of Tunisia. And this is a city they tried to build. It's a master city. And for me, it's an idea, and it's the main reason is for me to bring technology of the West to sell them into the East, and yeah. But at the same time, they build this, or they try to build this. They also plan to. Let me see if I have no. They started now to build 4 nuclear power plants in Dubai. And for me, it's the contrast is every time, it's a big theme to me to see there's an idea, master city, this is for publicity, and but we need a lot of power, so we take nuclear power plants. And for me, it's sometimes I don't understand this. Another example is China. A lot of friends of mine are architects, and everybody has a bureau and office in China and is based in China, and they have a lot of money, and they spend a lot of money, and every architect is happy to build crazy stuff there. And there's a city called Ordos. I don't know if you know this. And it's totally finished, and you see the Museum of Ordos, very nice building, but they don't have any exhibitions. It's closed. They don't have inhabitants. Well, the whole city is empty, but everything is sold in the city because the people in China, they can't spend their money in foreign parts of the world, so they spend the money in housings and flats in China. And it's totally crazy because it's, let me see if it's only the beginning of it. It's not from me, this movie, but wait, let me see. It's looking like this. It's video, huh? And there, for me, it begins to get really crazy. Okay, they go there for skating. Okay. But the thing is that, let me see, it's more skating movie than about the city. But yeah, for sustainability, difficult word for me. It's yeah, it doesn't have to do anything with how we want to live and what makes sense. Oh shit! What makes sense? Let me see if I can. Okay. Okay, I have to start again now. I go fast forward. Sorry. It's before your death, very fast pictures passing. Okay. This is my home country. And friends of mine are living there. It's a building from 500 years ago. And this is the typical nice villages renovated in south of Germany. So for me, it's every time. When I was first time here in the US, I was 20. I was in El Paso, and I made some that end of United States. But I had some friends, and they said, I have to show our oldest houses here, and you have to come with us. And we are cruising around, and I said, I can't see anything. And say, look at these, 50 years old. And say, whoa, great. And my friends are living in houses from 1593. And they say, what? And so for me, it's the question is how we want to live. Is it the right way to build houses like here in the US they do often? Or to start like in South Africa, they had the idea to bring the people from the townships to houses. And for me, it's really funny because if you see a township, it has its own structure, the neighborhood, everything is grown. And pictures like this, you see it's, for me, it's crazy. For me, this is more worse to live than this. This is also South Africa. This is in the Netherlands. This I like also because everybody has a own space, a small garden, so I can accept this. This is, I think, Eugene, Oregon. No, the front of your university, you have built something up. It looks like this. And this is in Morocco, small village. So maybe in the future you can discuss how it's going on, what does make sense, how to live. This is not homeless people. This is a festival in South Germany, music festival. But really crazy. I think 25,000 people. So I start a project in the moment. It's called Facing Pages, and I bring pictures together, which are big contrasts, or maybe similar sometimes. These are the last pictures I will show you. On the left is a scar of an old winery in Germany, and on the right is a glacier lake in Alaska. There's on the right parking on the grass, left empty parking. And this looks very similar, but it's on the left it's industrial shit, and on the right it's a glacier in Swiss. Yeah, this is also when I think 2 years ago we had no snow in the Swiss mountains, and they put everywhere the artificial snow, And it looks really crazy because it always two white lanes everywhere, but don't miss the lane. Yeah, this is the project I'm working on. Oh, sorry, there's the last one. A cemetery on the right, and nearly death on the left. So, okay, and then my last one is I thought maybe to start with the drones instead of flying helicopter. It's easier and to save some money. But you saw in the beginning I spent more money for this, and it's different. To take pictures out of a helicopter, I can work with a pilot, and it's easy to say, let's go there, I see, and let's go again, something like this. With the drone, it's much more work. You have to go to a place where you think it could be nice, and going up and take some pictures coming down. I have a live video, live view. I can show you something later if somebody is interested outside. You can fly with it if it's not raining. And yeah, so my last thing is I show you a video about the drones I did. You see, it's a different view. It's much more closer, and you can do totally different stuff. So I will see what happens the next time. And yes, can also, thanks. Yes, I can show you a demonstration, a short time with the small one. So, Caroline, who you don't like? Who was the person? Let's see. Okay. Okay. So you see that there's a gimbal, and you can move in any direction, so it's very easy. Assistant. Now it should work. Let me see. And you can move the lens, the camera. So, okay. So, it's just a toy. I was totally surprised because this is one of my smaller drones I'm make pictures with. The other ones are a little bit bigger. And this came out in December, and I said now everybody's only playing, and I was totally surprised. I take this with me 2 weeks ago to South Africa to film a mountain bike race, and it's incredible. You have HD, everything, and it's working really easy, and you can buy them later at my shop here. Yeah. Yeah, so if you have any questions, please.
Do you use the equipment in the cities much? I mean, I can imagine the authorities would not always like this.
Yeah, that's it's more and more difficult. When I was starting 2 years ago, nobody asked me, and everybody was like, "Wow, it's great," and I can tell the police, "Oh, it's allowed. I don't need any permission." And the police said, "Oh, it's true. It's cool," and go on. But in the moment in Germany, it's more and more difficult because everybody can buy this, and it's very easy to fly. You also can fly it. I can put it outside with GPS in the air. You don't have to do anything. It's very easy. And if you miscontrol, you make one click and it comes back and land automatically. I also have for this a ground station control with an iPad, and I can put over Google Maps different points to start, to go, in which height, in which speed, and it goes automatically. It starts going and land again, so I don't have to do anything. And it's more and more a problem. I saw in New York people are crashing into buildings and everything, so and they put it on YouTube. So in the best country in the moment is Switzerland. You can fly this without any permission up to 30 kilograms, really huge, big one. But it's dangerous. And in Germany I need a permission too. For the big one I have a permission, and it costs a lot of money. Insurances, everything, and it's not allowed to fly in towns. So I have different. It's about 10 pages I have to read every time. What is allowed, what is not allowed. So it starts to get difficult.
Have you done any work in Italy, for example?
Yeah.
May I ask where?
Yeah, I was flying over Sanremo, the old city in the beginning. And but I don't know how is the right in Italy. So sometimes I don't know, and I just do. So I have to take care. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on individuals' privacy?
Yeah, I'm teaching also at universities in Germany, and I do workshops to hurt privacy, something like this. Now you can go to big mountains. You can look everywhere in, and it's a big theme. I think you have to think about this, to speak about this, to discuss about this, and you don't know. I have some movies with me. I can show you. I show you some stuff I made with a small one. And it's in the city, and it's not allowed. Lord. Yeah, this is my... Yeah. It's on my laptop, not on here. Okay. Let's see. Okay. It doesn't work in the moment. Let me see. Try this. Okay, it doesn't work. Wait 1 second. Maybe no. Okay. Okay. So this is all made with a small drone, and nobody can see it. Normally, yeah, yeah. So I can stand like this. This is my, just standing anywhere like this. Yeah, you can see it outside. We can fly everywhere, and it's nobody knows who and where and. Yeah, I'm really fascinated by this because you can do so a lot of things.
What's the range of this phone?
Of this drone, about 1.5 miles. But the video is not going so far like this. So after a half mile, a little bit more, it's going like this, and then it's time to come back. Yeah.
What's the maximum elevation?
To the weight for the big ones or for the small one? Both. I can carry up to the big one 5-6 kilo. It's about 10 pounds. So, the height. Oh, I have a very nice movie about the height. Let me show you. It's called there it is a smaller one, but it was more than 1,000 meters, 3,000 feet. And airplanes have to take care of me. The helicopters. Yeah. So it was a very small camera in the beginning. And I was landing in a, you will see the garden. You see my garden there? You can see it? There. 1 second, you see. But after 400 meters, you can't see it. You only see on the display it's going up or it's coming down. Any further? Yeah?
Do the cameras, do they have a special gyroscope, or did you have to add a gyroscope for them to...
Yeah, this doesn't have any gyroscope, so the quality is not very good. But even the small one, yeah. Even the small one has that. It's a gimbal. It's very stable, very. So you saw in the film before, you can stand like a God eye view, and it doesn't move anything. So it's really great.
When did you start with aerial photography and why?
Yes, I said before 2005, and I did this image video for this company, and I had time to start with the photography, and I made skydiving before in earlier times, and it was really interesting to see this perspective again. Some problems when I start with a helicopter without a door. Sometimes I said, no, not jumping out. So, yeah, like this.
The flip side of issues of privacy is that we all get to see things from perspectives that we never get to see. It's incredible work. And the thing that struck me is sometimes it's so beautiful and it's so disturbing at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm just curious about the ethical, like the mission that you're on, or the there's an artistic intent, but there seems to be an ethical intent as well with much of what you do. And I'm just curious to know what you might say about that.
Hopefully I understand this in the right way. If not, you have to ask me again. I'm fascinated by both sides of the beautiful things and also of the bad and the good. Yeah? And for me, everything has something good and everything has something bad. So it's for me, everything belongs together. So it's I'm fascinated how the world it's going on, like these refugees you saw in the beginning. Yeah? I had this on art fairs, Miami Art Fair and New York Art Fair, and the people say, "Oh, what great picture with the sea and the nice boat." But when they step closer, they see the second reality, and they see, "Oh, these are pictures." Especially in Germany, we had every evening in the news that Africans coming to Lampedusa, a small island in front of Italy, and you can't hear it anymore. You don't see it anymore about Syria, about Guantanamo. It's every time, every evening the same, and you don't realize anything about this more. You are so tired of everything. And I try to do pictures like I spoke before. I rebuilt Guantanamo, South Africa, for Germans, especially for Germans. The red prisoners, or orange prisoners, this is a picture for Guantanamo. I know that other prisoners also wear clothes like this, but in Germany they only need orange people. This is Guantanamo, so if you go close and see it, and you get in touch again with themes you forgot, and it's.
I'm curious, have you done any archaeological work or used LiDAR?
What kind?
LiDAR.
Light?
It's light detection and ranging. It's
Light art?
LIDAR.
What is it?
It's like shooting radar, but using light from usually from planes, such as photographical information, seeing through tree layers, things like that.
No.
There's some interesting work being done in Mesoamerica, looking at Mayan ruins and other archaeological sites where the tree cover obstructs the view of landform.
Mm-hmm.
So LiDAR can look through, in effect, the tree cover and
Okay.
record, among other things, artifacts or topography and so on.
Okay.
And this is a hugely expensive operation because it requires something that looks like B-49 bombers going over and traversing
Okay.
the land very methodically. But it seems to me like...
It's easy with this. You can go step by step.
Exactly,
Do that.
especially on a GPS.
Good to make money?
No, I'm absolutely serious. I don't know much about it, but I'd be glad to share with you what I do know. Because it seems to me like this would be an incredibly innovative way of solving the problem about doing it.
Yeah. I was working for archaeological people in Italy too. And it's nice because you can see everything from above, where things are, structures are. So I think it's just the beginning of this. And in a few years, maybe everybody has, I know people, they want to go biking with a small drone over them to see a little bit before what's coming or not. So you never know what happened next time.
On the photos where you do
Yeah.
high-resolution detail. Are those two separate images, or is it just
No.
zoomed
I have a high-resolution camera
Okay.
with 60 megapixel. So it's a reason also I don't want to put it there. I can't fix in my hand. So it's, yeah. But it's... No, I have this Nikon 800D, or I have some Lumix Panasonic GH3 to film, and yeah, it's like this.
How do you choose where to go next?
Where I'm invited, I go next. So this is the thanks very much for inviting me, and it's only 1 hour lecture, and I stay 14 days here. You don't have to spend this for me, but I take the chance to work everywhere, and it's not so important for me to feed my kids. No, it's important for me to feed my kids, but not so important to have a big house or a house in Dubai, and. For me, it's more interesting to going around. You see the movie about Alaska and Malaysia, and I was changing with the people. They saw some movies and asked me to do this for them, and I can spend holidays with my family there or something like this. And so it's easy.
How did you find those people, like on those huge Alps mountains?
The people. Yeah, on the glaciers, it's like a sport. The people are going in the morning, go to the glacier wandering. It's easy. You can pick them up like this. Now there are a few wandering, and also in the Spalten, glacier Spalten. Yeah. The multi pictures. It's looking like this. Yeah, I know.
Do you show your work in museums often?
Please.
Do you show your work in museums ever?
The thing is that I didn't study art, and I wasn't at the university, and it's you have to have connections to be invited by or suggested by teachers, museums. So it's not so easy. I only had one exhibition in the MoMA. It was nice, but it was my only one, and I'm still waiting. Maybe in the next time.
Would you be interested in showing at the university's museum?
Yes, of course. If you ship my pictures back, it's good. Because I have a gallery, and I tell you something, with the art business, it isn't easy. I have a gallery in Dallas, and I was speaking and trying to get my pictures. I had a solo exhibition there with 20 big-size pictures, and it was 2011. And then the gallery closed and went to Los Angeles to make party. And my pictures are still anywhere in storage or something like this, self-storage, and I try to get them back. It's not easy. It's really not easy. So if you promise to send them back, I will do this. Yes?
I've seen videos from recent demonstrations throughout the world, like in Turkey and places like that, where people were using drones to kind of film events on the ground and show like police brutality or
Yeah.
Citizen journalism is increasing like the view of that around the world. I'm wondering if you've ever been contacted or considered working with humanitarian organizations or activist groups or journalist organizations, anything like that, to offer kind of an aesthetic bridge between like the pure news media and like activism and stuff like that.
Did I have connections with people like this? Or?
If you've thought about it or been contacted or if it's ever come up.
Maybe if I would be 20 years younger and didn't have family with everything. So, yes, of course. if you're interested in a special subject to first, it's really easy to use this and to find new ways. In the beginning, friends of mine, we started together with this, and they said, oh, I only want to make big movies like The Hobbit or something with the drones. And now, after a while, I see there are so many places you can use this, and for this too. So I think it's a new tool. It's a tool to play or to film or to work.
So before you kind of, I guess, were liberated with the drones and could kind of explore anywhere, and you had to actually charter helicopters, what was your process for like choosing those locations? I know you kind of said you'd be invited or a company would be interested, but you had to be a bit more deliberate in the process of what drew you to some of those locations, or did you have a process other than being invited?
For the first times, no. The first times I was working as a video jockey, and in 2001 it was really great because I was one of the first, and they paid a lot of money, and the next day I spent all the money on a flight. So I just decided where's the helicopter, and it doesn't matter where it is, if it's in the Swiss Alps or is it in Stuttgart or in Hamburg. It doesn't matter in the beginning. But later on, I was working with a special subject like the Ruhr area. I don't know if you know this, Ruhr area. Second World War, a lot of iron and weapons they built there. The old industrial part in Germany. And there I started to look at Google Maps and to make a plan where to go. And like this. But it's the next 2 weeks, I don't know. Maybe I go to the redwood forest and find a helicopter or not. I will see.
I think we have time for one more question.
No more questions.
Let's give him one more round of applause, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you can have a look here into. With this, you can take with if you like. And the big ones, I only have this too.
And you can look, but you cannot touch the drones.
Now, we can look outside if it's raining or not, and we can have a look to the police station and coming back.